The Socialist States of America. Yep, I'm going to talk about socialism and the moocher states. So those who claim to hate socialism are the biggest socialists. Yep, look at the reds. The red ones are the ones that pay more to the federal government than they get back. See, they generate income via taxes and the federal government collects it, then redistributes it across the country. Unfortunately, many states are leeching off the government teat like udder-sucking milk drinkers off a cow teat. You can see New York gets back 86 cents for every dollar it sends to the federal government. Meanwhile, places like Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi can get upwards of $4 for every $1 they send to the government. So other states are funding them, welfare queens. No state should fund another state. It should stay within that state. And I'll even go further. No city or town should fund another part of that state. New York City should not be funding all of upstate New York. So there you have it, the moochers. And here's a little more on the moochers from another year. New York, $29 billion we send to the federal government, more than we get back. So who's really funding the military? The most bloated in the world. Kentucky, Bitch McConnell's state, $37 billion every year they take, more than they pay. Absurd welfare queens. We want our money back plus interest. We're sick of bailing you out every single year. Socialist red states in many cases. Then they think our vote does not even count. The Electoral College is voter welfare. They use all these bullshit excuses. Well, we don't want two states deciding. Currently, only a few swing states decide, and most votes are thrown out, from conservatives to Democrat votes. New York, upstate New York, has as many people as the city. But all those votes are thrown out too. They're throwing out their own votes. Shouldn't change no matter where you live. We own houses in Texas and New York. My vote value shouldn't change. Every single vote should count. One person, one vote. And they say that they don't have a voice while trying to take away ours. Well, we pay more taxes. Ridiculous. So let's also talk about more welfare. Well, Trump gave all parents paid paternity leave for government workers, my taxes. These anti-birth control religious hoax believers think I owe them or entitled to my money. I'm not a partisan hack. I'm libertarian, really, for small government. Public school taxes, child tax credits, daycare write-offs, health care plans, the same for a couple or 10 in many jobs. Paid paternity leave, and so many entitlements that parents get before a child free. Meanwhile, they're anti-birth control. Use my taxes for it and pay me the dividends, because it actually saves. Yes, free birth control saves money. It's more than free. These welfare queens won't talk about that. They won't talk about how they eat socialism. Factory farms are heavily subsidized with our taxes. That's why it's so cheap, destroying our food system, our healthcare system, and environment, as well as torturing billions of animals in sick factory farms that are mostly in redneck states. Insane. They are socialist welfare queens, the right wing too. Here's Bruce and his people eating tasty animals hat that I debated. I think you should pay for your own mortgage. I agree. You should pay for your own housing. Birth control. How about required birth control if you're on any form of welfare, as all parents are? College loans. Hey, why do I have to pay for schools twice? I'm paying thousands in socialist public school taxes on top of my own college? You thief, get out of my pocket too, right wing. Food, yeah, I just showed you. The government subsidized food. They're okay with that, though, in cell phones. Not because I'm a conservative, it's because I'm an adult. You're the biggest welfare queens, as I just shown. And again, I'm libertarian. I want smaller government. Funding rural parts of the state. New York City funds rural parts as well as other states. And that, I'm sure, is a microcosm on the macro level. So these socialists even want socialist voting. 1 vote per person, add them up at the end. You don't round them off every dollar. You'll end up with a crazy off amount. That'd be like counting your money and every paycheck rounding it to the nearest $1,000. It's going to be way off at the end. Anyways, they know this. They're complete hypocrites, liars, thieves, Trump-tards. If you really want small government, vote Libertarian and get these moocher states out of our pockets. Who really funds the government, the military, that's bloated, and much more?